And welcome to Flow Friday. Great to have you here, everybody. And today's session, we're going to look at the metrics that matter. I'll get you to share my screen. Thanks, Jace. Yeah, cool. If you know, like me, you've been in business for a while now, and when it comes to running organizations successfully, what helps us is to have some really defined goals and metrics to help drive our teams forward. And I actually have spent over a decade professionally working with organisations all across Australia, New Zealand, around the globe, as the head of the strategy execution practice for a global consulting firm. And during that time, it became very evidently clear that most organisations struggle with getting really clear metrics for team members. And back in those days, it was very large consulting fees to go in and help people unpack what are the metrics that really matter. Today, I'm going to show you how you can get AI agents to do the work of very highly paid consultants, like those that might get paid $8,000 plus per day, just to help organizations do this work. And we're going to make it a fair bit of magic. But just to engage everyone in the conversation, who here has some metrics in business but would like to see them clearer, whether you call them KPIs or OKRs, whatever they are, the metrics? Put a 1 in the chat if you would like to have more, like greater improvement on those metrics, so you can have greater clarity within your teams. Stuart's saying yes. Beck, Chris, fantastic. I'm going to open your eyes up to some new terminology and methodology today as well. Ashley, absolutely, thank you. Because for me, I believe very deeply that it's about creating a winnable game for our team members. And there's something that high-performing teams do really well. Well, the most high-performing teams, there's 4 things that are going on. First of all, they know what the goal is. Seems pretty obvious. 2, they know what to do to achieve the goal. Also seems pretty obvious. 3, they keep score, so they know if they're winning or losing. And then 4, they actually hold each other accountable on a regular basis. Now, I'm going to cover for us today items 1 and 2, actually getting this laser-like clarity on the goals and written in a format. We've all heard of SMART goals for sure. I'm going to show you a format today that's going to really probably reduce this down, give it the laser-like focus that it deserves. And then the most important one is that second question there, that they know what to do to achieve the goal. That's generally where it gets a little bit fluffy and hazy, because in most teams, what we need is a behavioral metric that, when executed with the right quantity, quality, and consistency, is the best bet for achieving your results. And today, that quality aspect, which is often missing in most goal statements when they're written, today we'll also show how AI is going to support in that zone as well. But now, pop a 2 in the chat if you would like your team members at work to be adopting more AI in all the steps of what they're doing. If you see benefit of that and you would like to have more, great, fantastic, then this is going to help propel it from today, because we need to see the conversation about AI happening inside the goals that people are writing, so that on a daily basis, when you're going back to those goals for the planning of what you're doing each day, you'll be being reminded, oh yeah, that's right, I've got to use the AI to help me in this particular process. Because there's no doubt that with AI at the moment, you've got 2 buckets. You've got the fear bucket and the love bucket. I know if you're here today, you're in the love bucket for AI, but fear is very natural for people because it is an unknown quantity. There's all the, will I lose my job, risk component, or I just don't understand it. It's an ambiguity. We need, as leaders, we have the opportunity to really make the shift or help people shift in their thinking in this change management approach by being able to start applying it, normalizing it, getting to understand it more. So we'll also say, please do bring all your team members along to these sessions as well, so they can start learning here first, and also make the job a bit easier for you as you're transitioning everyone to use more AI. Okay, I'll also do a quick plug letting you know that there is a special event coming next week. We'll tell you more about it. It is our GoTeam MultiPlai.tech AI strategic roadmap process. We'll ensure that we'll let everyone using our AI agent platform know about that session as well. It's coming up. That will help you with your AI strategic roadmap planning for where will AI actually be applied in your organization. Let's get into today's topic for Flow Friday, and a portion of it is inspired by the book by John Dewar, Measure What Matters. Has anyone here read or seen that book before? Pop a 1 in the chat if you've read or seen Measure What Matters by John Dewar. Probably made most famous in the book is Google and their usage of OKRs, objectives and key results. And objective is essentially a short, thematic way to articulate the direction that you're going. And then the key result is the measurable component so that you can tell if you're on track or off track. And the book is really good, lots of case studies and examples in there, certainly great for engineers. I've found that in my years of consulting with Franklin Covey is that there is an extra metric that you need in there. It is a behavioral-based metric. Now, we call those X factors in our approach. So you're going to learn about those X factors on how to write them today with quantity, quality, and consistency, and they make such a big difference. Now, and just asking for more notification on presentations. Sure, we'd love to get those. Same time each week, and what the content is that we do for each week is often dependent upon different ideas and questions that are coming out, things that we're tinkering on ourselves. So we'll make sure they're always innovative and adding value. Okay. Now, the net outcome of this today is to say, how could we do some pre-planning for all the teams in our organization and having a look at how all these metrics could come together. That can often be quite a detailed time that you spend on strategic planning. It's not intended to replace the work of the team members around doing planning. It's about enhancing and giving them ideas to inspire them. I think it's important that AI in these places are not about dictating. It is about removing the friction point, or what I like to refer to as the approach avoidance conflict, where we go to do the work, we're excited to do the work, we want to get into it, but in the moment it starts to get a bit hard because norepinephrine is building up in your brain, and if your dopamine doesn't go high enough, you tend to procrastinate and shy away. And so a lot of the usage of AI is about pushing us past that struggle point, and we can get into the flow state and get more joy in what we're doing. Okay, these sessions are best set up with 2 screens, and you can put open up Raya Pro on one screen, and you can pop Zoom on the other screen, and then follow along. It is a workshop style environment, so I'm going to go a bit slower than I would if it was just a straight up training video, and we'll do our best to help everyone stay along with us as well. Okay, let's jump on over to Raya and have a look what we got here. And I'm just going to have a quick look in the chat for one that I did earlier today. And and nice, could you please share the link to our workbook for today? This will be our worksheet that we're following along. And today we're going to do some pretty advanced prompt engineering in this one as well. I'm just going to scroll through this one so you can see our work is actually 9 pages today. So you're going to get some real significant value out of this one. And some, I got to say, some IP that you wouldn't normally get access to unless you're paying about $8,000 a day in consulting. So enjoy that. You're welcome. I hope it brings you lots of success in your business. Now, we're going to build out a OKRs performance writer. So here are our instructions for today. I'll zoom in so you can see this. We're doing metrics that matter, so our performance metrics for your organization. In this session, we'll explore how to set up an AI agent flow that builds out performance metrics for your organization. And we'll break it into 3 parts today. In the first part, we will create the agent. Now, this one, we only need to create a single agent, and it is essentially our OKRs performance metric writer. And that could be, you could take the same concept another time if you want to do KPIs, but today we'll focus on the objectives, key results, and the new behavioral metric called the X factor, which is really the secret sauce to driving results. And then once we've set that up, I'm going to show you how with some advanced prompt engineering, you can get a lot from the language model, but sometimes you need a little bit more, especially if you've got some form of your own business IP that needs to be considered. And I'll show you how you can then prompt that in to make that work for you. And you'll get you've got the full copy of this prompt, and we'll build it out together so you can see it. I'll also break down why I've prompted in certain ways in order to get the results that we desire. And then we'll go on to part 2, which is actually creating the flow. We're going to create a flow with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can do 6 steps today. We'll break it at that one. We're going to do 6 steps today. But you could do 10 or 12. Each step essentially is in the flow. The node that we set up is for, oh, thanks, David. You're welcome. Is a node for a department or a team. So you can really get this quite extensive, because when we're building out metrics in teams, the key thing is that we're going to see alignment between them all. So the ultimate scenario is if you've got your top goal for your organization, and then you're looking at what are the goals for marketing to support that top goal? What are the goals for sales to support the top goal? What are the goals for customer service, client onboarding, all the facets of your business, and you actually reach the alignment. So what we can get the AI to do is actually consider the top goal, write the associated goals, metrics for marketing, objectives, key results, X factors, write the associated ones for sales, considering the previous dependency, write it for customer service, considering the previous dependency, and so forth. And then at the very end, what we'll do is we'll run that flow. And the example that we'll prompt with today is, we're a SaaS company with 10 million in annual recurring revenue. Please design new metrics for Q3 of 2024. And then I'll give you some other tips on some advanced things you can do afterwards as well. But I want to start you with a story first to get your head around the concept of objectives and key results. And then we'll get into the fun build part. I'm just going to bring up a presentation here. I hope I didn't close it. Let's see where it is. It's not that one. That's an exciting one too. Here we are. Go. All right. I want to set the scene for objectives, key results, and X factors. And we'll do it in a non-business example so that we can not feel like we're needing to understand any particular business, but rather just life in general. Who here, by the way, has ever set a New Year's resolution? Put a 1 in the chat if you've set a New Year's resolution. And then follow it up with a 2 if your New Year's resolution, 3 days later, 3 weeks later, you'd completely forgotten about or were not executing on. Pop a 3 in the chat, or a 2's fine as well. Yeah, if you've done that before. And sometimes like, I'm definitely going to get fit this year. Maybe this will resonate. Here's 2 friends, Tim and Tom. It's the 31st of December. Tim and Tom are 2 best friends. Both are middle-aged fathers, married with 2 kids and busy careers. In their younger years, they were both very active and considered themselves in great shape. Now, however, they're a little disappointed in where they're at physically and think they should get back into a shape. Together, they make the New Year's resolution to lose the weight and get fit, right? And there's 2 approaches. Tim says, hey, my New Year's resolution, I'm getting fit this year. This year, I'll lose the weight and get on top of this. As of Monday, I'm going back to the gym. Now, Tom, on the other hand, what he says is, I'm losing the dad bod and getting shredded. I'm going to reduce my fat from 30% to 12% by the 31st of December. To do that, I'll complete 3 5-kilometer runs using interval training of 1 minute on fast intensity, followed by 1 minute low intensity each week. Oh, and I will complete 2 weight sessions at a gym using a program designed by a personal trainer per week. And I'll drink less than 3 alcoholic drinks using the 1-to-1 glass of water to glass of alcohol consumption method per week. And I'll track my progress on a smartphone and my fitness band, and I'll share that progress via the Strava app and maintain accountability and commitment fitness friends on the app. Right. Who do you think is going to win? Tim or Tom in this one? Who would you put your money behind? Yeah, Tom all the way, right? Why? What is it that stands out that's different? Why would you put your money behind Tom to win this one? Specificity, detailed goal, structured plan, clear actions, detailed plan. It's got a plan. It's measurable. And so SMART goals are in there. Now, with this, and you'll see this often in fitness, but very rarely do you see this level of detail in the goals. What we've got here is the top line. We've got the objective, and we've said with a bit of a motive statement like getting shredded. So you've got the emotion behind it, which helps it commit it to memory. And then you've got the next one here, which is the key result, and it's written in a format of verb, the thing we're measuring, from X to Y by when. Essentially, we get a start line, a deadline, and a finish line in there. Reduce, that's the verb. Body fat, that's the thing we're measuring. From 30%, that's our X, to Y, the 12%, by the when, 31st December. Now, then we get into what are the X factors, or each of these ones here. And they start out with a verb, the thing, the quantity, then the action we're taking, then the quality, and then the frequency. And it's that structure that is often hard to remember, difficult to articulate, but when you get it to this level, it starts to, for your subconscious mind perspective, it locks in with exactly what we're doing, so that becomes powerful. And it also means that it becomes very measurable. It's very different than saying, I'm going to go for a run, or I'm going to go to the gym. That doesn't, you go for a run for 3 minutes, then you've achieved what you said. If you go to the gym but don't do any weights, you've also achieved what you said. And so the greater the specificity, the more powerful it is to actually goal delivery. It also means that we can scoreboard these things. And our teams are going to need help writing these types of goal statements in business, because this isn't taught at university. It's very rarely taught out there unless you're paying some big consulting fees. So, and there's another great book on this topic is 4 Disciplines of Execution, and we'll be releasing a book on OKRs this year as well. So you'll get lots in there. Okay, let's have a look now at creating our first agent. So open up Raya. Make sure you've got Raya on the screen for you, and let's navigate over to the agents area. Now, if it is your first time today joining us for a session like this, we're going to first create an agent, then a workflow, and then we'll run that workflow. So to build your first agent, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here to make it easy to see. Once you're on the agents page, simply click on Build New Agent. And once you're on this page, could you just pop a 1 in the chat so I can see how well we're all moving along together today? Super, 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 super. By the way, at any time, if you'd like some help, you can just say, I need some additional help. And if one of our team can jump into a breakout room. Is Jay here, by the way? I can't see everyone's images. Nice if Jay, you are? Fantastic, Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. Jay is our product director at MultiPlai.tech. Superstar, heaps of energy, and you need a little extra hand, he can jump into a breakout room and help you out as well. Okay. Let's now, quite simply, we're going to do the copy and paste method here. We're going to create our first agent, and I'm just going to scroll down that agent's name. Sorry, I should have put that instruction at the top. If you can scroll down to page, we're all the same agent. OKRs Performance Metric Writer. Copy that one. Just going to, if you're looking at this live, I'm going to, oh, I did put it at the top, pardon me. build an OKRs Performance Metric Writer. It is on page 1. Copy that one, and we'll go over into our agent's name, and we're going to paste that in. Now, we have changed the formatting on how the words are written. We're doing it with where just the capital letter of each word remains at the top to make things look neater. I do like to write the KRs in capitals, but the system's overriding me. And then you can add a an image for that one there. So you can pick one of your emojis. I do happen to have our logo for our OKRs app. So I'm going to pick that for us today. We do actually have a software platform for running your OKRs. I'm going to tell you a bit more about that later on to further enhance this. Now from there, but pick an emoji, something, one of those icons, then add a category. We have got custom categories coming soon. You'll probably see that, I think, at the end of our next sprint, in a week's time, I believe. But for now, I might just pop that under operations. Soon we might have one for strategy in there, or you'll be able to put your custom categories in. Categories are actually just used at this point for filtering when you're finding your agents. It's not impacting the way the prompting or goal statements are written. Okay, now here's the thing. The large language models are not trained on OKRX, but they do have a good understanding of OKRs. So we're going to start by allowing the goal statement to be generated by AI, and then we'll add some advanced prompting. Now, this is actually an important step or learning, that when you're creating an AI agent and you're giving it a name, it's best to give it a more functional name initially before you make it something more creative or it starts to step outside of a standard field. And the reason why you want to go for the functional name first is that is what is used by the large language model and the prompting to actually write your goal statement. So I'll give you another example. We've got one of our, we've got a payments company in Australia, and one of the developers there building their own AI agent, and Ruby on Rails Ninja, I think it was what it's called. It's like, okay, the Ninja part is a fun name to remember it, but it's not functional. It's not going to be throwing ninja stars. So remove the ninja, write your AI agent, and then pop the ninja name back in afterwards so that it doesn't impact how it's written. There's no doubt that the words we use matter. Here we go. It says the goal here is, as an OKR performance metric writer, I'm responsible for crafting precise, impactful performance metrics to drive organizational alignment and strategic execution. My role involves translating complex business objectives into measurable key results, ensuring that teams have clear, actionable insights to focus their efforts and achieve their goals. By delivering more comprehensive and data-driven metrics, I enable continuous improvement and sustained performance across all levels of the organization. Sounds really good. It's really awesome. But we've got a new piece of IP to add in here, which is the X factors. And we're also going to give it some more structure. So over here, it says special instructions. And what I'd like you to do is, and I'm explaining it here a bit more detail for your benefit for later if you want to read over it. OKRs stand for the objectives, the key results. Key results, when we define that more, I've added the structure in for you. These are measurable goals with a start line, a finish line, and a deadline, and are best written in the format of verb measure from X to Y by when. OKRX is the advanced approach here, and includes the behavioral metric called the X factor, and behavioral metrics that, when executed, are the best bet for achieving key results. These are written in the format of verb, quantity, action, quality, and consistency. So even in just a moment, you've got a new naming convention, new nomenclature, and your brain might be going, oh, trying to absorb that in. Don't worry about that too much. The AI is going to take care of it for us and write these things. There is the additional definition there. Verb, this is an action-orientated word. For example, deliver, create, increase, reduce, limit. Action, this is the task or activity to complete. Quantity, this is the number that can be in the form of a number, a dollar sign, or a percentage. And then quality, this is a statement on the standard or best practice of how to execute the task or activity. I got to say, this is missing in most metrics out there, and it is the piece that we need to raise the standards in any goal that requires a change in human behavior. It's best to start the writing of this term using and to remind the user to use the quality approach that must refer to an AI agent flow, prompt template, procedure, checklist, or standard the company has designed to ensure the best practices are met. And then consistency refers to the intervals of daily, weekly, fortnightly, or monthly. With that in mind, I've then written for you in the goal statement some additional information. So with our goal statement, I'm going to, forgive me, I think I've really mucked up your formatting on this file today. Let's put here, let's copy from OKRs stand for all the way down to the end of consistency. Copy that. And let's paste it at the base here of our goal statement. And we'll go one step further as well. And see where it says additional instructions for X factors that must be followed. We're going to copy that one in also. Additional, with the asterisk there, additional instructions for X factors that must be followed. Copy that one and add it to the bottom after consistency. Sorry, I should have put that all in one for you. I'll tidy up the document afterwards. Now, what we've done here, and just when you've got that, pop a one in the chat. You have to do that in 2 blocks because of Adobe. Oh, that's okay. There should be a, but we shared a Word document. My apologies. Word document is one. Okay. I'll also quickly tidy that document up. The goal statement. A little goal statement heading got out of whack there. Okay, so once you got that one, and also nice, can you share a Word document, please? And I will also do that in the chat right now. Oh, there we. Oh, Google Doc. Okay, great. I build it in Word, and Nice shares it to you in the Google Doc. That might be easier for some people. Fantastic. In fact, let's make that going forward. We'll share Word doc, Google Doc, and PDF so people can choose. Okay, so I'm just going to read out what we've got here. This is the advanced prompting that's going on, because the concept of the X factor doesn't exist out there in the large language models, as it's the IP that we have here, or if you've got similar IP in your organization, you're going to need to feed it to the agent so it understands it. Now, we've learned in previous sessions you can do that through things like the knowledge base, but here for me, to get the advancement, I want to do it in its goal statement and also in its instructions later on. Now, from here, we say we've got the details. I go into those definitions, but this is another important advanced prompting part. I'm going to give it some examples to work from and some direction on how I want to see output. So based on the key result, always produce 6 action items in the form of X factors that will positively impact the key result. And 3 of the 6 must include AI agent flow idea or the prompt template idea. The reason why I'm giving that additional instruction is so that when we get results, it is going to include AI ideas, and that's going to help our team to broaden their minds, expand their epistemology, to be able to see a world where AI can be applied in so many different areas. Then I'm sharing an example so that the AI understands what I'm talking about. Example of an X factor to increase results of a sales department, to increase sales revenue from 10 million to 12 million by December 2024. And an X factor example 1, research 1 new market opportunity using a market analysis AI agent weekly. X factor 2, schedule 5 product demos using AI agent prompt template question builder daily. X factor example 3, make 20 sales calls following the script and using a Raya Pro AI agent prompt template daily. X factor 4, organize 1 customer feedback session using structured feedback form weekly. 5, conduct 1 sales role play using Real Play AI role playing app. daily. Number 6, update one sales forecast using the approved template weekly. And 5, send 50 follow-up emails using AI agents, prompt template daily. So we're giving it some ideas here so that it's got an understanding of how the structure works. We're making sure we get the AI in the quality section of the X factor. And then that way it's really going to get its understanding of how to build these out. Okay, that's the detail that's in there. Next thing we need to do is write a backstory. For this one, just select back the generate and allow it to write the backstory for you. And okay, so certainly as a backstory, if you're an OKRs performance metric writer, over 7 years professional experience in crafting and refining performance metrics, dedicated my career to organizations to streamline the strategic initiatives and so forth, right? So now we could tighten that up a bit more and put further OKRs information. I didn't do that in my test this morning. I just left the backstory as it stood. But what I did do is after writing the base instructions, I further prompted that with more details. So for today, you don't need to click generate. Rather go to the base instructions that I've crafted for you and copy base instructions. So this starts on page, it should be page 3. It's quite long. It's going to go all the way to before you get to part 2. So it ends at conclusion, and then you'll see the asterisk line. That is the end of the prompt. And so 945 words in that prompt. If you can copy that one and then paste it into your base instructions. And once you've pasted it there, it's time to select tone of voice and disc personality profile. So I'm going to select the professional as the tone of voice, and I'll go for, sometimes I want to be influential. I'm going to go with compliant on this one, because of calculating. I want it to be considering, be more calculating and considerate of the other team's metrics. So once that's in place, then scroll back up to the top and you can create your agent. As always, Flow engineers, is to start with private before you share it to your organization, because you want to test it out, make sure it's working well before you're handing it on to others to utilize. Cool. All right. Once you've got to that step and you've created your OKRs performance metric writer, just pop a 2 in the chat so I can see how we're going as a group. Well done, Kieran, Hillary, Chris, Richard, Terry's there, Colin's there. Bobby, well done. Can you repeat that prompt? Yeah, Kieran. So I think if you mean repeat, share us what we're doing, certainly. So what we're doing at this point is we're adding into the base instructions, and that is in the Word document, and it will start on page 3, really long one. Under the heading, I think, depends if your formatting is aligned, but there's a base instruction section. It starts with *** role OKRs performance metric writer. You want to select from there all the way down to the bottom where it says conclusion, to the end of that conclusion paragraph, copy and paste that entire prompt into your base instructions. Jesus, Marvin. Tufalift, I hope I said your name right. It's pretty swollen on the screen. Welcome, thank you. Okay, so David's on, well done. With that in place, it's then time to save your agent. If you haven't done that, please save it now. And what you can always do too is continue to enhance your agents with additional prompting. Catherine's asking, missed the knowledge base. So knowledge base will only appear as a block once you've saved your agent. Once you've saved your agent, then the knowledge base block will appear, which is down down here, knowledge base. Today, we're actually not going to use knowledge base. We've put more effort into our prompting, and but you can use that later. I'm going to show you an advanced version of why you might consider not using knowledge base here, but rather later. And so there's a couple of things that don't show up before you've saved the agent. One is the knowledge base section. The other one that doesn't show up is your embed. So if you want to embed this on a website, that'll show up after you've saved it. We need to know what to do first. All right. So with that published, the next step now is only one agent to build, is to go over to the workflows section. And we're going to build a workflow that allows for the creation of the metrics for marketing department, sales department, customer service department, client onboarding department, I think finance department. I think there's one more there. It's all in our instructions here. So we'll do it together. Okay, so let's click on Build New Workflow. And the name that we'll give to this workflow is available here in our guide. Oh, is it? No, it's not. That'd be right. Okay, we're going to call this one OKRs Company Metric Builder. Company Metrics Builder. And I'm going to pop that respectfully in the chat for you, so you can just copy and paste our chat. So there you go. I do promise this to be a copy and paste session to allow me to deliver on that promise. Okay, once you've got in there, you can add some extra description if you like, or just copy and paste the same item in, and then click on Create. And that'll take us over to our canvas, where it's now time to start building out the first of the nodes. And to do that, simply click on the node itself, and it will open up our task agent tools process, or the form to fill out. So back on our instruction, our workbook, we've got part 2 is where we are creating the flow. And the first one is we've got agent, task, and tool. There won't be a tool today. We're just focusing on agent and task. And the agent is the OKRs performance writer, and the task is what we're going to copy. So it says, for the marketing department, create performance metrics for the given period, output 3 objectives with matching key results in the correct format. For each of the above, output 6 X factor ideas in the correct format. Okay, so we're going to copy that task, and we'll paste it into the task section. Oh, David's asking the question, is it normal for the generate to have different words from mine? Absolutely. And here's the reason why. Well, a couple of things can be going on. First of all, the model I've selected is 4.0. Some might pick 3.5 because the 3.5 is cheaper to run. But for me, 4.0 is the only way to go now because of the quality of the output. That's up to you, which way you want to go. You'll notice that the prompting is significantly different from 3.0 than 3.5 than 4.0 with what gets generated. The 4.0 generates it with like a markup style language to give better structure in what comes out. But because it is a large language model and not a database, the transformer technology which is in the large language models is essentially going to dream up the next letter in the next word. It's going to generate that. A little bit like when we hold a conversation as even as a specialist in an area, you've got a base amount of knowledge that you're working with, but the way you may articulate something comes out a little bit different every time, but the core content is very similar. Now, when you want to go one step further to that, you want consistency out of it, that's when you start to connect to your own knowledge base, or you start designing your prompts yourself. But I would say what you get will get us the result, especially because I've added in that extra structured piece of prompting. So you'll get similarity there. Okay, with next thing to do is select agent. And then from there, add your OKRs performance metric writer. I've got 2 there because I created one earlier today. I'll get this one in place. Now, Kyle said also LLMs have random seeds applied to ensure you don't get the same text twice. That is why they're intentionally non-deterministic. Excellent level of additional definition. Fantastic. And Richard's asking, in Raya, how do we know which model we're using? What I'll do is once we finish this flow, I'll jump over there and show you what the where to find your models. It's and part of the setup. Okay, so that one's now assigned. When you do this, once you've assigned your agent, what you'll notice is another plus sign has appeared on the bottom of this node, which allows us to go to the next step. Once you've created this next node, could you please just put a 1 in the chat so I can see that we're all moving along together? Super, super. Wow, you're superstars. You're doing great. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so let's create the next one. Now you'll notice for the next one is we've created a demand generation department. So marketing, demand generation, sales is the structure that we're setting up here in this example. And it says for the demand generation department, take into deep consideration the OKR metrics from the previous agent's outputs. Based on this, please create performance metrics for the given period. Okay, so we're going to now copy that task. And you'll notice that we've come from the previous node where it started with the agent, so it's kept us in the same format. So we can just assign that now, and then with that assigned, move to the task, and then paste the task in. Or if you feel more comfortable going left to right each time, put your task in, and then select your agent. And that one's done. We'll go on to the next node. We'll make our way back to our document. Hopefully you're on your second screen. And we're now going to get our metrics written for our sales department. So it's the same prompt structure. All that's changed now for the future ones is the department. So for the sales department, take into deep consideration the OKRs metrics from the previous agent's outputs. Based on this, please create performance metrics for the given period. Cool. So we're going to copy that one, take it over to this one. So once again, you can just assign that agent, go to task, paste it over the existing task description, and then add your next node. How do you get to the right-hand screen with the tools, etc.? When you click on the node itself, it will open up the menu on the right. So if I close this menu on the right out, but I click on the node, it will now open up on the right. Also got the 3-dot menu here, which shows edit, update, agents, tools to allow you to navigate to that specific step. So we just did the sales department. So it's now time to go on to customer service. So same prompt. The only thing that's changed now is the name of the department. Paste in the task description. And then we'll go to agent, select our OKRs performance metric. And then I'm going to pause here and let everyone catch up. When you've got through to the customer service agent setup, just pop a 2 in the chat so I can see where you're at. Anyone getting a bit competitive now? I'm going to come out the gate first. You're doing great. Everyone's keeping up really well. Super, super. If you do find at any point in time, feel like you're falling behind a bit, stay on, keep watching that, and know that you get the video afterwards. So you can go back and fast forward and get back and replay as much as you need. Okay, let's add the next node in. And we move from customer service to client onboarding. Select that agent. Add the task. Add our next node for account management, client success. Add our agent, and then take yourself through to finish off the final one, which is the finance department. And once you've completed that, pop a one in the chat before we head over the final magic. Wow, you've all gone ahead super fast. Fantastic. Get in this one. Once you're done there, then publish your flow. Once again, keep it private initially so you can test it out before you share it with your organization. And congratulations. So well done to Chris, Terry, Kira, Marvin, Michael, Hillary, Catherine, Colin. Well done. Catherine as well. Fantastic. Making great progress. Richard, Jesus, well done. Okay, let's now, David, excellent. Let's give it a run. Let's head on over to chat. And we'll start with a new chat. Don't have to select the OKRs AI agent, just straight into the standard RAIA agent. And we're going to take the prompt that I've got in here, and it is, we are a SaaS company with 10 million in ARR, annual recurring revenue. Please design new metrics for Q3 for 2024. And so we think about that as, what's probably the number one goal for most organizations ends up being a revenue target. There are many others you can have, but having revenue makes life a lot easier. So making sure that that is going to be a major goal for the organization. Simply paste that in. Now, naturally, the way that you've set up your AI agents and this flow, it's generic. So it doesn't matter whether this is just a SaaS company as the organization, naturally, because we are, so we land there. But you can put your own organization in as well. At least run the SaaS version first, and then afterwards run it for your organization to get the ideas out. And then later on, go and build out that flow more, add in all your different departments so that you can get a whole list of amazing ideas for metrics. So let's run it now. Well, I'm going to come back, Adrian, to your question in just a sec. Oh, the Excel formatter. Look, I've run out of time to prompt that one up this morning before our session. So what my intention is to then create an Excel formatter agent so it will output all the results in a format that you can copy and paste and put into Excel. But I didn't have time to test it. So what I will commit to do, though, is I'll test it out. Once I've got it working, on our YouTube video that will get posted, we'll make sure we have an update of the documentation. And if there's additional prompting for that one to work, we'll get it in there for you as well. I didn't want to do an untested thing in the session today. All right, now I've got 2 of these workflows in here because I've built a couple already, but you'll have one in yours. So click on the company metric builder. I thought I deleted one, so hopefully I've selected the right one. We'll find out in a moment. And it's going to, would you like to continue? You will allow that. Confirm it to execute. And I have selected the one I deleted. So I'm going to delete that. I'll go back and select the second one. Or we've hit a bug. That could be what's happened here. Let me close out that one. Check. Hey, I'm going to run a new chat. So I think my 2 has given it a little complexity because I've deleted one. And Hillary's saying I have the same issue, but I can't see the workflow and can't delete. The workflow screen isn't shown at the moment. But Dave's writing a bug report. Thank you. Okay, this is looking a bit better. And then if we can give Hillary a hand as well. Now, Kieran's got a question there. What other agents would you suggest? You might find that just as we write this, there's new agents that are going to be suggested for you to write. That's what's quite fun about this particular one. Oh, there we go. Zoom out a bit. We're off to the races. The first one's been written now. So, what other agents would you suggest? Now, this is such a fascinating space, and they're in the session that we'll do on AI strategic road mapping next week. I'm going to go into this topic in a bit more detail because it's really we could randomly sort of create these different types of agents, but if there isn't a reason behind it, then we're just chewing up time. So kind of start to look at business in a few buckets, or when it comes to AI strategic roadmaps and as well as using agents, things like you've either got a goal specifically that you need to deliver on, or there's a process in the business, or there's a department, or you could look at the other way, department, goal, process, and that's the area to look for first and say, look, what am I trying to achieve? And with that in mind, start to sort of break it down into its steps and in the process itself, and then figure out where if you had an expert person working on that piece of the process, then that could be the agent rather than person that you need to step in at that moment. With that framework in mind, and I'll go through that in at the AI strategic roadmap session, and I'll make sure I get you some visuals in next week's Flow Friday session on the same topic. With that in mind, it starts to open up where it can possibly go. But what we'll find here is that in the X factors, it's going to start suggesting some example agents in order to build. So let's have a look at it, because I know we've only got 8 minutes left. And here is the output. I'm going to zoom in a bit more here so we can read it 3 and boost traffic. Then it's got X factors. So research one trending hashtag using social media, analyze AI and media and analysis AI agent weekly. So there's a social media analysis AI agent that could be created. Schedule 5 influencer collaborations using an AI agent prompt template, content creator. Now we've got a new feature coming, which is prompt templates inside the agents. What that will do is if you're talking with an agent, it will suggest some questions to ask. And then after that, you'll see our custom prompt template builder. So that it is essentially the AI agent will ask you some questions which will enhance a prompting specifically for it. But that'll make more sense in a couple of weeks' time when I'm showing it to you. Create 3 blog posts using the AI writing prompt template weekly. Organize 1 webinar using Zoom and webinar checklist. So there's a checklist one, making sure we've got checklists in our business. Conduct 10 social media posts using Hootsuite scheduling tool weekly. Update 2 SEO strategies using Google Analytics and approved SEO guidelines weekly. Like, do we have SEO guidelines? If we don't, we could have an SEO guideline writing agent to write those guidelines. You could add in a researcher as well into a workflow to go off the internet and research that topic, help you write those guidelines as another example too. Here's one. I'm going to jump down to, so qualified leads. So by the way, this is not intended to say do all of these. These are your ideas to start prompting and starting the conversation with your team. It's also often really useful that you come up with a list of ideas. I mean, I've done 6 X factors, 3 key results and 6 X factors. You might do more, so you get more ideas come out. And then with your team, you can look at those and say, hey, which should we do? And allow people to pick some and adjust the metrics accordingly. Like, just because this one's saying attend 3 industry webinars using the webinar checklist monthly, that doesn't mean that's the right number. You've got to make that decision in your business, what you want to sort of dial up and dial down. But there's a lot of ideas here to go through. Let's get customer engagement, demand generation team. It's got around increase in qualified leads, improve lead conversion, enhance website traffic. And it's got a whole range of really amazing X factors here. Schedule 5 product demos using the AI agent prompt template question builder daily. Lots and lots. I'll let you go through and have fun reading through those ones. But talk about a high volume of high quality interrelated metrics that if we didn't use AI, it would take days to write. The beauty of it now, you've got it set up for every time that you're looking. Customize it for your business now. Add your different nodes for your different departments, and then run it. And each quarter, you can go back and have a look at it and run the ideas, so that the ultimate discipline is every quarter or every 90 days, have a review session with your team, and then do the planning session and set up your metrics for the next quarter. Kieran Scott, could I put my actual KPIs in for the last question and customize based on it? Spot on. That's where we're going with this one here. So a couple of advanced ideas. I put this as playground, advanced ideas to try out. One is upload the metrics you have from last quarter as an Excel file or PDF and ask the AI to iterate off the ideas. So the example would be, you could upload a PDF or Excel file, or if you've got your data in SourceWiki, OneBrain, Microsoft OneDrive, or soon Google, you could connect to those pages or that file or files in order for it to have a reference of what you had last time and ask it to now iterate off it. Now, I'll say this is definitely playground zone because if I haven't run it yet, but what I'm imagining we'll be able to do here is so long as our formats are good and things like our Excel files, have your target versus actual, get your results in there, and it will iterate off it. A couple of questions coming through. After the agent has done the job, for example, generate a document, how can it be exported to a usable document like Microsoft Word? I've attempted this and the agent provides a link that goes to a page not found. Yeah, we don't actually have a builder for that yet. So the language model is making up a decision that it would like to give you a link, but we will have an export feature coming. At the moment, you're copying and pasting. I get the result. So David's got, I get the results in chat rather than the workflow on the right. Is that expected? Or do I need to review my workflow? You should get both the results here at the bottom. And to see the workflow on the right, it's this view details button at the bottom of our metrics writers, our agents is where we'll find that one. So have a look for that one. Can we build an agent that can read emails coming from one email address or our control room and categorizing the email content into chunks reports like customer A, B had instance category A, B had repeated instance. The email reader is on our roadmap to be able to ingest an email. At the moment, we don't have it to an agent that can live read, but there's more sort of arms and legs coming, and Ryan's probably got the next. Any updates on? So 2 days left on the trial, no problem. Everyone's going to get an extra 30 days. Congratulations and thank you for being here. So that will get rolled out today or at the latest tomorrow. I think it might even sort of auto move over to 30 days afterwards. So you're all going to get it. Safe as houses will look after you. And ETAs. Now, ETAs on all the different requests, you're going to see a new feature come into inside Raya. Maybe Jay's here to comment on this one, but there'll be a section in here which will allow you to put requests in, votes, and then we'll let you know what we're working on and what's coming next. So you'll be able to see the product roadmap.
Angel. Yes, I've sent a link about this as well, Matt. So you can take a look at this and click on the link. I've made a couple of posts from this discussion right now. So yeah.
Great. Okay, so the link in the chat is where you'll be able to see it. Soon we'll put it inside Raya so that you've got easy access to it. I want to share with you just a couple of things now before we run out, and then I'll finish any other questions. If you like the idea of having metrics in your business, and you would like to see where people are really winning at them, you can see scoreboards as well. We've actually got another product called the OKRs app that helps make this really easy for organizations. It even allows you to meet daily around scoreboards, incredible for global teams, and have a daily huddle around the metrics that matter, making commitments and updating those commitments on a daily basis. It also helps with things like one-on-ones and performance agreements. And we use this tool to run our 1,100 person organization. And without it, I really feel like we're flying blind. So if you like that one, then just reach out to us. It's in pre-release stage, but we'd love to be able to help you with that along the way. Now, could I just go back? I think Alan had a question from earlier. Can you just scroll back up for me, please? Thanks, Jace. Was it Alan? No, it was Ryan's. Okay. Also had embedded look and feel update. Not sure what you mean by that one, but love to take it offline. Doesn't work on an iPhone. No, we're not designed for the iPhone. We're designed just for the desktop. The iPad, it's working, but the chat box. Oh, you mean for the embedded chat? Yeah. So Jay might have a comment on that. Is Kobe working on the enhancements for chat next week to the embedded chat so that it's going to work on iPhone and iPad? We sort of pushed it out quickly for the Flow Fridays, but we'll make sure we're working on that UI for it so it's behaving better on all screens. Thank you for that. And the bot
Absolutely.
needs an intro. Yeah, hello, my name is, and what we'll have for that coming next also, and its enhancements are your ability to put these questions in. So that's an overall feature that we've got coming for your AI agent, where you can set example questions on how it's behaving if you're chatting with it directly. That'll work, therefore, just on Raya Pro itself, or if you put in it on a public space. And then prompt templates, which means it'll have spaces for multiple questions to come in as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I like this one from Adrian. I'm not sure if I understand it correctly. When we create our own workflow, is there an AI that can generate tasks like this? Tasks like what we've shown today, like the metrics, or additional tasks? I'm not too sure if I understand that one, but if you hang around, I'm happy to jump on audio as well. And okay. All right, thanks. I think I got a thanks for the answer there. I'll see if I can get on here. All right, team, we've definitely gone through to the full time. I want to thank you, everyone, for joining. If I've missed any questions, I'll go over these straight afterwards. Would like to respect your time. But thank you. Congratulations, Flow engineers. You're really progressing well. You've jumped up a whole another step. If you like this one, if it was useful, please let us know. And also, if you've got any ideas, when we have that new section where you can put your ideas in, we'll put a section so you can put requests in for Flow Fridays as well. Hey, thanks everybody. Have an awesome day. Keep up that the flow engineering journey. Remember, this one is a marathon, not a sprint. You're going to keep layering your knowledge and get better and better every week that you come along. If you ever miss a session, we are available over on AIPoweredPeople. And the final plug for today is the reminder that next week you're going to receive an email letting you know about our upcoming strategic roadmap session. So it's going to further enhance your thinking about AI and your whole journey as well. Now, Monday, what is the Monday help session? So that theirs have been a little bit intermittent because it's when we're available. We will put on a few help sessions next week, a Monday, Tuesday, and a Wednesday. And that's I'm in the Philippines this week in the office, so we'll make sure we get at least 45 minutes on. Oh, not on Monday. We're in Manila consulting on a big AI project. So Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll put on help sessions. But there's also if you need help, if it's more to do with setup, we do have a link that you can book a time with Ange. If that is about getting your language model connected or you're having some error there. Do we have that link? We could pop in the chat for everyone. It is a booking link that you can book some time with Ange. What time are the help sessions, Matt? I would love to say I'm that organized with my hectic calendar of travel, but let's lock it in right now. So on Tuesday, say again? Can we do next week, Tuesday and Wednesday at 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time? Tuesday and Wednesday, 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. It'll be on a Flow Fridays link. You can just jump in, and that someone put that on the chat there for everyone's benefit. It's so Tuesday and Wednesday, 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. It'll just be an open session. What the way those ones work is it's our Flow Fridays link. You jump in. Someone can say, "Hey Matt, I'm trying this. Can you give me a tip?" And we'll go through and we'll build something together. So we're building something with you. You're driving, and I'm giving some guidance, and I'm doing the same thing, and we're sharing some prompting and some code together, and just iterating. And you'll see, like today's session, I iterated quite a number of times to get those prompts for you, so you can see how that works. And you might just like to watch along and learn from someone else what's going on. I think I've still got one to close out from last time, which is around doing an analysis on a P&L. So if we may end up finishing that one off as well. Super. All right. Have an awesome day. Thanks, everybody. And we'll see you next week on one of the sessions. Bye for now. Have a great weekend.